Hello everyone, my name is Brian. I hope you're all keeping well. So in today's video, we'll be going more in depth on how to convert unit of measurement for length. In the last video, we were able to understand the basic way of converting units of measurement for length. So to recap from last video, converting from millimeters to centimeter is dividing by 10, and going from centimeter to millimeter is multiplying by 10. To convert centimeter to meter, you divide by 100, and to get from meter to centimeter, you multiply by 100. Finally, to convert from meter to kilometer, you divide by 1000, and to get from kilometer to meter, you multiply by 1000. Knowing the formula for converting units of measurement for length will make this topic much easier to understand. So if you've not watched the previous video, you can pause this, watch it, and come back when you're ready. So for today's lesson, we'll be learning how to convert from kilometer to meter. Here's how you do it. Assuming that you need to convert 7.4 kilometers to millimeters, what you have to do is to see how many times you have to move from kilometer to millimeter. So kilometer to meter is times by 1000, meter to centimeter is times by 100, and from centimeter to millimeter is times by 10. After that, all you have to do is to multiply 10 by 100 and by 1000. That'll give you what? 1 million. Now that you find how many times you need to move from kilometer to millimeter, what you have to do is to multiply 7.4 kilometers by 1 million. So in a million, we have 6 zeros. So that means you have to move the decimal point 6 times to the right. So move it once, twice, a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time, and the sixth time. Now we fill in all the gaps underneath the arrows with zeros. So our answer would be 7,400,000 millimeters. The next slide is to convert millimeters to meter. So assuming that you have to convert 80 millimeters to meters, what you have to do is to count how many times you move from millimeter to meter. So from millimeter to centimeter is divided by 10, and from centimeter to meter is divided by 100. Next you have to multiply 10 by 100. That'll give you what? 1000. Then divide 80 millimeters by 1000. So the easiest way to divide 80 millimeters by 1000 is by imagining that there's a decimal point at the end of the number 80 millimeters. And then one by one, moving the imaginary decimal point to the left, hence making the number smaller. There are 3 zeros in 1000, so that means you have to move the imaginary decimal point 3 times to the left. So move it once, twice, and a third time. Then fill in the spaces underneath the arrows with zeros, hence giving us the answer of 0.080 meters. The final slide is convert kilometers to centimeters. So assuming you have to convert 4.35 kilometers to centimeters, what you have to do is to first count how many times you move from kilometer to centimeter. So from kilometer to meter, you multiply by 1000, and to get from meter to centimeter, you multiply by 100. Next, you have to multiply 1000 by 100. So 1000 multiplied by 100 will give you what? 100,000. Next, you multiply 4.35 kilometers by 100,000. So what you have to do is to count how many zeros there are in 100,000. So in 100,000 we have 5 zeros. So that means we have to move the decimal point 5 times to the right. So we move it once, twice, a third time, a fourth time, and a fifth time. Now we fill in all the gaps underneath the arrows with zeros. And so we get the answer 435,000 centimeters. If you follow these steps that I've taught you now, you will find it very easy to answer any question on converting units of measurement for length. Now that I've gone through the examples and I've taught you the formula, here are some questions that I would like you to answer. Feel free to pause the video and unpause it when you're ready. Now that you're done, here are the answers. I know you did well. Well done. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions or if you are unclear about anything that I've talked about today, please don't hesitate to type it in the comments and I'll respond to you as soon as possible. Remember to subscribe, like, and press the notification bell so that you're notified on when I post a new video. Thank you for listening, and bye!